Hey, people, welcome back to another Sunday podcast with the Goon Squad or the Goon Cast, whatever the fuck it is. Yo, my name is Myrone, the special guest. We with Alex, Grandmaster Sexy, the mean motherfucking machine, and fucking Brandon. What it is, people?
I love it. What's up?
Dude, I don't even know what to say.
Hey, what's up? It's like by far the best introduction ever. Thanks, bro.
No problem, no problem.
And just before we start, I mean, I just want to have a little truce with my Rochi over here.
Hey, man, no, I ain't gonna
Bro,
start
can we
this stuff on-
stop like roasting each other, man?
Oh, yeah, of course,
Dude, we good friends, right? We good friends.
Yeah, you know what it is,
All
bro.
right, cool. Anyways, so it is gonna be May 1st, Saturday. That's when you guys will be listening to this podcast. And the Gooncast, we want to dedicate all of May to mental health since it's Mental Health Month. So all our podcasts for this month will be talking about mental health in some way. For this podcast, we'll be talking about mental health in different cultures. That's why we have our very good friend Myrone over here,
What,
to talk about his background compared to ours and how mental health is seen in his culture and how it compares to our culture. So how are you doing, Myrochi? Thanks for the intro, by the way.
No problem, man. I'm doing okay. I lost my father earlier this month. And it's kind of been really rough here because, like you said, mental health is important. And I'm going through like stuff with my mom right now, I'm taking care of her. And I'm like sucking in calculus right now. So it's kind of hard to balance it.
I'm sorry for your loss, buddy.
No, it's okay. I
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
the sentiment.
Yeah, I also lost both my grandpas at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. So I definitely know how you feel. So thank you for coming on.
No problem, man.
too,
My
man.
my condolences for your grandparents also.
Thank you. Besides that, do you have anything that's been going on that you would like to share? Or
Well, I can say this. It may not be much going on, but I can say spending time with you guys and just gaming and stuff is really good for my mental, though. I can say that because the bonds and everything that we have and like playing games and all the shit talking helps out a lot. And
Dude, I didn't know shit talking would help.
yo, I mean, think about it in a way like that friendly competitive jive where y'all can just talk shit and you don't have to worry about it. It helps release a lot of steam and get some laughs out, everything too.
all right.
This
Yeah,
is like, all right.
It's like, all right.
I guess we
I
need some
understand. Yeah. Like, so I did not know that your father passed, and
Yeah.
I definitely didn't mean like my shit talking and stuff. I definitely didn't mean to take it to the next level. If like I didn't mean to offend you at all. If that was the case,
You didn't offend me at all.
I just want to clarify. I know, like, when we play, and I would oftentimes like target you or call you out and stuff, but
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, like, all in good fun, and I have no intention doing actual harm. So I just want to let you.
It's fine because like I said, I always know it. And like I said, it was something I didn't disclose to a lot of people. So because I kept it private and I didn't want people to worry about me too much. But I also know not saying anything can cause harm too. So I was in the middle about it.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I totally understand that. Cool. Thank you for sharing, though. Thank you very much,
Oh,
and thank you for coming on again.
no problem. It's always a joy to have you.
How about Brandon? How about you?
How was my week?
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do? I worked, and then I'm trying to learn more things at work, so my brain's been kind of like fucked up.
What kind of stuff are you learning about?
Quality audits. So
Oh, okay.
Auditing.
Dude, that
Oh,
sounds
man.
hella hard because it's like auditing, but it's also like quality assurance with the auditing, right?
God, so my brain hurts. God, and it's hard to think about things. Like I know, like if I get like stressed about it too, it's harder to remember stuff too. Because I'm overthinking things, you know what I'm talking about,
What are
right?
you? What are you auditing?
So because we like test, we get like biological indicator tests from like another company. I think we have to annually audit them from time to time. about like their
Okay.
procedures and stuff that they comply with like regulations. But I don't have any experience with that yet. I'm just like reading about it, so it's hard to like grasp
Hmm.
because I'm
Okay.
more of like I have to see how it's done or conducted rather than
So
like read about it.
So the thing with Brandon's job, he didn't take any classes in it. I took 3 courses that's related to what Brandon's doing back in college.
Yeah, my major in college is super unrelated.
Yeah. And let me tell you, all 3 classes are more or less like the same style of teaching with 3 different professors too. And it's super boring. It's just a lot of self-reading. And because each medical devices are different, everyone has a different type of reading too. So you can't really help another student out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you are doing quality assurance and audits for medical devices, Brandon?
Yeah, in a sense, kind of, yeah.
It's because
I got you. Yeah,
medical
I get-
devices have a procedure of how stuff get produced, Alex.
Yeah. Quality assurance is really like pretty hard.
So it's like any
'Cause you got to be meticulous. You got to first of all know what you're doing, know the product, and you want to make sure it works and it's safe or whatever before putting it out in the public. So
True,
I guess
but
it's even worse when it comes to medical stuff.
in terms of my job, it's not as hard because like we're like a process in the step of medical devices where like I don't have to look at like say since we're not like designing medical devices, there's a section about that in the regulations. I don't have to like pay attention to that.
For your regulations, do you have to look at in terms of data?
So I have no idea, Ming. I'm not at that point yet.
Because when people make a new medical device, right, they will compare it to the previous one and they'll change one small thing about it. Say like they change a material, right? And then because it's a new material, they have to go through like more or less like the same procedure, except for like designing and stuff like that. But they have to have data in order to prove that it's still as effective.
Oh, so that's like where I guess for us, that's where like validations come in for the customers.
Yeah. So basically that's my question. Do you guys do like validation and verification?
Yeah, we do validations for the sterilization cycles. Because like it has to show that the cycles are consistent and could constantly kill the biological indicators, basically.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's like a whole nother process in itself. I don't want to get into it because
It's draining.
Nerd stuff.
Yeah, but I will say,
anyways,
I didn't know. Well, I know math and science go hand in hand, but I was not expecting to hear like as much science as I did in that form of auditing. Just like until now, that's my first time ever hitting. What's that auditing called again? What's it called again? What you were trying
quality auditing?
Yeah, that's my first time ever hearing quality auditing. I just knew about normal.
Well, I mean, you don't hear about it until you get into it. So
I got all right.
It's also just not a lot of math. Well, you're not the person that's calculating much either, I think, right, Brandon?
Yeah, from what I've read in the book, so quality auditing in a sense is just looking at the quality system of a company to see if they're following their like objectives and the purpose of quality audits is to find out if there's any problems in terms of like what's affecting like the quality of their product, if they have any problems in the process or production, and then what corrective actions you can recommend to fix that basically.
Yeah, so long story short, you don't need calculus.
Yeah, it's just throw up of information.
Okay, so pretty sweet though. That is pretty damn sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anyways.
Anyway,
All right.
I watched
past the nerd stuff.
I watched the Demon Slayer movie.
Ooh.
Hell yeah! What you think of
Hell
it?
yeah. I thought it was pretty good, except like they didn't have a lot of conversations with the fire Hashi.
Yeah. I thought the movie was like 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
overall
because
for
like
me.
I think the action portions were good, but the like character development wasn't that good.
Well, I think since the movie's canon, a movie is just another way for character development for the main 4 characters, I would say.
Oh,
They were pretty useless, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They doesn't seem like they were like the focus, and obviously the second half of the movie, it's where it is the strongest at the last fight.
Oh yeah, that's
I
really
really
strong.
really enjoyed that and really showcased that the fire guy's ability and his strengths. But yeah, the main character seems to be just
They're just
throwing
there
out
for the
this
ride, dude.
yeah throwing out the same move over and over. He keeps crying. The thing with Demon Hunter for me is just I really like the story, but the characters are so one dimensional in a sense. It's like they
Oh,
only
yeah,
have
that's
one personality and they stick with it. Like the
Oh
main
yeah, yeah,
character
that's very
is
true.
so pure, so kind, so selfless always, right? The standard main
The yellow
character.
guy's obsessed with the
Yeah, and the yellow
girl.
guy's substitute with the girl,
Yeah.
and
The poor guy's just like barbaric and
yeah,
random.
barbaric, random, reckless. The yellow guy's super shy, super cowardly, but OP at the same time. I
Yeah,
had
so,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Myroji.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no spoilers though, no spoilers. I haven't watched it.
No spoilers, man. Hey, I have a question for you guys. When you guys went to watch the movie, did you guys see any people cosplaying?
Yeah, I saw one
Uh,
girl cosplaying as the insect Hashira, the
Oh.
butterfly girl.
The butterfly.
Oh,
girl.
yeah, yeah.
Which one, the older or the younger? I'd say both.
Dude, I don't know. I think it's the older one. I think it's,
Probably the younger one. I don't know.
I
Dude,
don't
not gonna
know.
lie, in the manga, it's really hard to tell them apart.
Yeah,
But they
because they
look
wear
like
they wear like
sisters.
similar things.
Yeah, they wear similar things. And also, I read the manga. I didn't watch the anime, but in the manga,
Is it like finished? My bad for cutting you off, but is it finished?
yeah, it's way finished.
It's done
Okay.
a long time ago.
Yeah. But the manga, because it's black and white, so it's actually really hard to tell like who's the older and younger sister.
Man,
It should
it's
have
like
something with facial
it's like
features.
black and white too. It's hard to tell. It's hard. It's like when you see their like appearance in the anime, you're like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was like, damn, I didn't know their hair color is this color.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
like something else.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Alex,
oh.
like, do you remember the last fight? I didn't know the enemy was that hair color was his hair color.
Yeah.
That was such a weird hair color.
So you're telling me the movie is in the manga?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's in the manga.
Oh, okay. So I can go ahead and watch it. It's not like the what was it? The Broly movie. I still.
It's
freaking
not
love
like a
that movie.
separate arc that's like
Yeah,
not part of the
it's-
manga. It's like actually canon.
Canon.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. Yo,
It's still
I
good
can-
though. It's still good.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm
Definitely
gonna watch
recommend.
it later on though,
And then,
because
yeah.
I'm gonna go buy it or whatever.
Yeah,
else.
so I watched that, and then I got omakase sushi, and that was expensive.
Holy shit! This guy fancy. Oh my
Damn,
god.
man. What, did you
Yeah.
go on a date or something? Jesus.
No, I was with my friend, and he was like, "Hey, we should try this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Where at, by the way?
San Mateo?
And did you just pick like omakase, where the sushi chef brings out 10 pieces of sushi or something like that?
Yeah.
his
Well,
pick?
we went to a place that had a soft opening, so because like every other place we wanted to go had reservations you had to make.
Jeez.
What was
bill?
what was
bill?
the total, man?
It was total is like 193 or something for both of us.
Holy shit.
Oh my
man.
god. That's omakase for you.
I mean, that's like $200 and you split like two ways. That's like $100 per person. Holy shit,
It's
man.
almost as much as my Doge, dude, which is going down.
It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Don't worry.
Hey man, you gotta believe, man. You just gotta believe.
Speaking of sushi, though, I snapped out the Kura sushi in Stonestown.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
I saw
revolving
that,
one
yeah.
where you could use the plate to play. I think it's that one.
Oh.
Hopefully, it's the same chain. They have the same name. So
Dude, I'm down to go
I'm
one.
excited for
Yeah.
that one. I'm
Dude,
excited for that one.
Stonestown is popping lately.
Yeah, it's popping, dude.
It's
Aren't they
popping.
aren't they renovating to open like a movie theater or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already pretty much built.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it's the movie theaters on like the higher floors, and then on the bottom basement floor, it's a Whole's Food.
Oh wow, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then apparently Target, they expanded into where Nordstrom is.
Oh.
So you have like a couple of floors just for Target, and the bottom floor of
Oh
Nordstrom
man.
is open up.
How come they didn't have this when we were in middle school, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
time
about
to
it
go.
for me. That's about it for me.
Yeah, get into the main topic. But Ming, how are you?
I've been
Anything special?
doing a lot of repetitive stuff this week. So the week went by pretty fast, and well, I kind of lost track of time. I don't know what day it was, but that's about it. Because every day
Cool.
felt like a little bit of same.
It's just a boring week, like me. Okay.
It's kind of boring, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't slow. Like it was Friday, but it felt like it was a Wednesday. You know.
Oh,
I hate
see.
that. But okay. Hopefully your next week could be more eventful. For me, I'm just gonna get to it. I watched a Demon Slayer movie like Brandon, and that's about it. Okay.
You see anyone cosplaying too?
I saw one, to be honest. Not a lot.
On
I guess my location, there's not a lot of weeps.
on Friday, when I was on TikTok, and I see a whole bunch of like people going to watch Demon Slayer movie, and they're all like cosplaying and stuff. So I thought, you know, there's going to be a lot of people cosplaying to watch.
I wore my Akatsuki jacket though.
Yeah.
Not the actual jacket, but the
I know which
the
one.
design,
The
yeah.
bomber jacket. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, going to the main topic, like I said, we're going to be talking about cultural differences and with mental health. As you guys know, me, Ming, and Brandon, we have the Asian background, so we'll be diving into that. While Myrochi, you'll be diving into
Yo, DMs, let's go.
African American
Let's go.
background. So let's start.
How about we compare your culture to like the predominant American culture?
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, and then talk about like what your culture thinks about like mental health.
I can do that.
All right.
All right. So I'm probably not the best knowledgeable person about that, but how I grew up is I was overprotected a lot. Like, so I don't know, maybe a lot of kids, or maybe even in your culture, your parents are really overprotective and then they want to shelter you a lot, right?
Yes.
Like with me growing up in school, because I had a disability, even if it started out early, I used to be kind of discriminated a bit. Not so much in high school because I knew how to roll with the punches and kind of counter back. But growing up, I ended up being kind of like the timid, the passive guy, aka like the easy target.
Yes.
And I would always, so my mom was always the strong-willed one, and she was always like, yo, you got to do this, you got to do that. And when I didn't, she would kind of get frustrated with me and kind of lash out a bit. So that also affected my father. He was more of the gentle type. He would try to like guide me a bit, but he would be stern on me in some areas. All that kind of meshed into the kind of person I am today, which is I don't like conflict. I try to avoid problems, kind of run away.
Yeah.
But also what good that came of it is whenever something bad goes around, I guess it's either coincidence or I see things subconsciously in advance. I tend to avoid it. Like I said, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. But as I got older, like I said, coming from high school and things, I've learned that I can't let people get to me. Because if I'm sad or whatever else, I'm just going to end up being stuck for like majority of my life. I won't have energy to do anything. I won't even have motivation to do the simple things like go outside, take a shower, whatever else. Because at one point in my life, I was there. I've gotten over it. I'm still struggling with some things here and there, but overall, I've come to find a balance. But like, I don't know how it is within your culture. I don't know if there's any striking differences as how I'm speaking on right now.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll be back after the ads.
We'll be back after these messages.
We'll be back after these messages. We are back.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Myrochi, yeah, I could totally relate to the idea of being too sheltered because of your parents. And I just want to ask you, is it because of a race thing that you're facing in America? Is that why your parents are overprotective? You see it that way, or
No, I don't.
just because your family has high standards? And
I
just
think it was just my mother in general. My dad is more like the free spirit, like, hey, let him do this, let him do that. My mom is like, nah.
Okay.
Because, like I said, there are certain things that she's has faced in her life as a woman, an African American woman, that she thinks like the world make.
She doesn't want to wish that upon you, right? So
She as an African American in a sense anyway. But
Okay.
it also enabled a lot of bad tendencies in me because, again, like I said, I've been sheltered. I don't have as much of a drive as I do. Well, I've become complacent, and I'm trying to like find my way out of that. So what you instill and your child or at the people they're like looking up to you in the generation before you, it does kind of affect. No, it will affect them mentally of how they view things, how they perceive things, and everything else. Like
Yeah.
I know I'm still closed off to the world, but I'm trying to keep my mind open. It's not as open as it used to be because out of all the things I've seen and what I'm just like, forget it. Why not?
I totally understand actually what you're going through. Like, it's really similar to my background, but
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you more questions. So you're saying because of how sheltered you are, how protective you are lacking some outside world experiences, and therefore you are often targeted at school, maybe because you're lacking, would you
Mm-hmm.
say, some social aspect of things?
Yeah, I
Uh,
was never the guy to go out a lot. There was like, yo, Myron, yo, your mom will protect you. Yo, she ain't gonna let you go anywhere. You in
yeah,
jail. You in lockdown, like, etc.
yeah, and oftentimes when you want to do something, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to break out. Your mom's or your parents' words will always be in the back of your mind, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like how to put it is. I don't want to say like it's like a screen or control because it's not that. I guess it's like a subliminal thing. It's kind of like a trigger word, like you see in those movies. You have those sleeper agents or whatever else. It's
yeah,
always key words, key things
yeah,
that'll like stop me subconsciously, and I'm like,
yeah. That's with me too. And I think I wouldn't say like we are to blame for me and you. You know,
mm-hmm,
we definitely show respect, a huge amount of respect and love to our parents, and we want
mm-hmm,
to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and we feel like they know what's right and wrong.
mm-hmm,
And oftentimes you don't want to cross that, and it's a constant struggle between wanting to break out, wanting to find
mm-hmm,
yourself on what you want to be, and also complying with the rules in the household. I still struggle till this day trying to break free of that and not be disrespectful and not
mm-hmm.
hurt my family. Would you say you were kind of bullied at school? Were you bullied, or were you
Oh, definitely.
just
Oh, definitely. But like I said,
and that you would say just ultimately hurt your mental health, right? Would you say you were depressed at some point? And
yes, most definitely. Like even now, in some cases, I still struggle
yeah,
with kind of like some depressed tendencies, but I try to fight back and think, hey, there's someone who always has it worse than me. Um, or I try to like change my mindset, like me at the core, instead of saying I can't, I don't want. It's more like I can do this, I will do this. And when I do it, I'm like, oh snap, I did this. And I try to use that good energy and try to push it
yeah.
towards something else.
Have you talked to like your family about your depressions or any like mental illness?
Well, I did when my father was alive here and there, but when my
Mm-hmm.
mom, how to say it, she's the type of person I don't want to indulge in too much in because I remember, like, let's say, I remember I told her something like when I was 14 or 15. When I came back at 19, it was something we would, you know how parents and kids have that back and forth. And she would say, yo, I'm not gonna drive with you. I don't know, you might try to take us both out. And I'm like, huh. That kind of showed me right there that I can't divulge too much into her. And that also takes a effect on my mental health. Like, who can I really open up to if I can't open up to my parents about it? I'm
Yeah.
just like,
So
Yeah.
would you say that your mom doesn't really understand what you're going through, or the struggles of mental health? That's why it's hard for you to open up to her.
mm, I feel like I don't have a voice with her. Just straight up. Because I pay attention to my dreams a lot, and they say dreams are representations of things you keep suppressed, or maybe they're a mirror, or maybe they might give you a hint of certain things, right?
Yeah.
And usually when I have these dreams, I have fight with my moms, and when I yell, I can't speak. So I just took that as, yo, I don't have a voice. I
Mm.
feel that I don't have a voice.
So just one more thing. We're talking about culture. What would you say that? What are some of the things your culture prioritize? Like, for example, my culture prioritizes, family,
Mm-hmm.
education,
Mm-hmm.
a lot, money.
Oh,
So, and that ultimately shapes how parenting works in my culture, and that affects how I turned out. But what would you say is your family, or not family, but culture, priority?
From my culture,
Yeah, would you say in general, or you could go into your maybe your family as a household, what family prioritize?
Well, some parts of my family, what I've noticed is religion is a main priority. And and there's been cases where it's been pushed on me. And again, like I said, that's somewhat affected my mental too, because people are always trying to force you, saying like, yo, you need to do this or you need to do that.
Okay.
It's more like hey, you don't have a choice in what you want to do. But in actuality, you do have a choice in what you want to do. It's just how you got to go about it. Another thing that I've noticed in like culture differences, like within the music and whatnot, and I know this might get a little X-rated growing up, but then again, it might be all the guys or whatever. It's like, yo, how many bitches you done smashed or this and that. And me, I wasn't the type to be like that. I was like, yo, I gotta find a female I dig, and she dig me, and then I want to do that. My money, cars, clothes, superficial thing. But just because you come up from that, like just because you have that mindset, I've seen people with great drives come to be successful as they older because they always on the grind. They're trying to do things. So I'm trying to figure out, like now as a man, what I should do in society, or how should I be classified, or what's my ideal version of being a good man in this world. And I can't really figure that out myself. Like, even though the answer's been laid out in front of me mentally, there's something blocking me from doing it.
So yeah, that's amazing. Like, you're saying that culturally, you're, as a black man, you're expected to, not expected, but popular culture kind of shows, black men in a way, right? And maybe you don't really fall into that criteria. It's not you in a sense, but while you're trying to find yourself, you will definitely feel out of place in your own community or your own background. And you said that ultimately affected your mental health as well, right?
Yeah, like, and as me going out interacting with people, I've seen the way that people view African American males in some of the culture. It affected the relationships I wanted to get into, how people look at me. I'm just like, what did I do wrong?
And Ming and Brandon, you guys could definitely just chime in and juxtapose your experiences and your background. I mean,
so going back to what Myrochi said about religion, in terms of like religious belief and spirituality for Asians, we believe in that mental illness is caused by like evil spirits, or like it doesn't basically really exist. So in most times they would try a traditional method of coping with it, like herbs or like acupuncture,
like more spiritual means, right?
Yeah. Because they believe that mental illness is not real. They think it's like kind of made up,
like kind of like a superstition type of deal.
Yeah, made up, like superstition or like spirits or whatever, right? So they think because it's not real, so we got to use non-real method to get rid of it.
Yeah, I read that article, and that hinders the progress of actually tackling mental health in Asia specifically.
Because it's always about energies.
Yeah, it's definitely getting better in the modern age, but I feel like a lot of places still, they don't really understand it, and they feel like it's just like bad energy that you need to release.
And I do, like from a small sense, I can kind of understand it, because they do say the energy you carry with you is the type of stuff that you attract to. So, or like the people I hang around are the product of me. I don't know if that's a saying I've heard a lot, but like if I look at it like that, I understand, you gotta get rid of the bad energy. But I think mental health is not just energy; it's a collection of things.
Yeah, it's more than that.
It's very complex. Compared.
Oh, no. I guess I'll start by speaking like my background and my experiences as well, and how it kind of ties into yours, Myrochi.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm Asian American. My parents are from Taiwan, and they are super traditional as well. Still very traditional. My mom has been opening up a little bit, and in terms of mental health, she's been trying to understand it and actually helping me. So that's a little different from what you're going through, Myrochi. Before, definitely, it was hard for me as well to talk about it, to understand what it is, even myself. And it was after, me being my own head and having fights with my mom, where I kind of broke out and be like, I'm experiencing depression and heavy anxiety, and I need to get help. I need meds or talk to someone, because I really couldn't take it anymore. And at first she doesn't understand what it was. And I didn't try to make her understand, to be honest, because I was just like, I'm going to seek help myself. But it was after my sister that is going through what I was going through as well, because of her schoolwork. She was really stressed on that, and where my mom really starting to do some research and get help for my sister as well. And started to accepting, like, okay, this is something real that's affecting your everyday life and how you interact with me and how you interact with other people. Let's try to get you as much help as possible, because she couldn't help,
And
But
I will say I'm envious of that, because, like you said, me and you, I feel like right now we were on the same path. Now it's split. You're on that side, but I'm on a different side.
Yeah, right now I'm definitely still taking it on myself, but it definitely some weight is definitely lifted off my shoulders when my mom started to understand what it is about. I don't talk to her. Me and my sister, we're uncomfortable still, talking, bring that up. We definitely don't want to use it as an excuse on dealing with things. We don't want that mental health to define us, but we're definitely trying to tackle it ourselves. But it's just that, a big weight has been lifted though, when my mom kind of knows what's going on, but we don't speak of it. That's what I'm saying. But for me though, just a little background, just education is a huge thing. Success. For me, I'm the oldest child. That's a huge thing. I'm oldest son as well.
Oh, it's like expectations, huh?
Expectations. So that definitely shaped how I am. And my parents sacrificed a lot to bring me over here to the United States for better education. I'm assuming a lot of us came here for that reason. And I struggled with like comparing myself. I would compare myself of my achievements a lot with my younger brother initially, because he's always been a higher achiever, and I felt like I wasn't doing much. He was getting the scholarship, I wasn't. He was doing this, doing that, and I feel like an older sibling, I was kind of disappointment, and I struggle with that a lot. And I didn't like what I was studying. I felt like a failure.
Oh man, I can relate to that.
Yeah, but I got over that, comparing myself to my brother, and I started comparing myself to other people now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started.
It's like, no, I'm not gonna compare myself to my siblings. Oh no, I'm gonna compare myself to others.
I made peace with that, and I'm just happy that my brother is achieving a lot, and there's no reason for me to be mad at that.
Your family,
but right now it's just focusing on myself while looking at other people. Is just like, another thing I want to say culturally is money. Money is a big thing. So when I compare myself, it's oftentimes I compare my wages. That's a big thing, like how much I'm making. And that can
I feel like I
affect my mental.
Yeah, and it's just
like, man, I wasted my time in college, I'm not using what I learned in college. I'm such a failure.
Yeah, I get those thoughts too.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
that too.
and even now is just trying to move past that and work on something else and understand that college is over, and now you got to do what's, you got to think of now and try to make the best of it. I'm still trying to get that in my head and trying to think that. What else? I have one more. But yeah, lastly is just like you, I am super sheltered as well. And I just want to, and socially, there's oftentimes I feel like I've been called sheltered and I'm not as street smart, if you will. And that definitely affected my confidence and my mental health as well. Just thinking that I don't know much, I'm not up to date with stuff. And yeah, that's a huge struggle. Ming and Brandon, do you guys want to share? Do you guys relate to some of the stuff that I talked about?
Yeah, I feel like I relate more to like the expectations of getting more money, having a good job, utilizing your education for your job, basically. And I get that it gets hard because sometimes that affects my mental a lot. Like the college thing. What was the use of college?
Yeah.
Because you don't use that information, or a lot of the classes you took don't really apply anymore. So yeah, that gets me a lot sometimes. But it's like along the lines of like, you just have to think about what Alex said, like just think of the present and just move on from it, because thinking negatively about it the entire time is just not going to help.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more complicated than that.
How about you, Ming? How was it?
So for me, it's quite similar to you and Marochi, where my parents don't really, like talk about mental illness. They think it's a sign of weakness.
What the?
Yeah, they're like, oh, why are you thinking like that? Why you worry? You're just being kind of weak.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's like also like the culture of like masculinity too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you're sad, you're weak.
You're weak, you're also a man too,
Yeah.
like why are you getting all sad?
Like you're supposed to deal with this, and it's like, no, it's not that easy.
No, it's not. Oh, that's another thing too. As a man, do y'all think it was an issue growing up to like express things to your other male friends? Like you, in a case of like, it's like, man, you a bully, man, you weak. You like Ming was saying with the parents, but only with your friends. Like, do you think it was harder?
I think it was not too bad for me because I surrounded myself with people with definitely similar interests.
Yeah.
But if I were to like interact with like a classmate I didn't know that well, that I would be like very subconscious to say what I liked.
And one thing I learned a lot growing up, and I think it's kind of a little bit of a difference between like male and female. Like it's harder as a man to express yourself because like you said, you're gonna get that backlash. But for women, it's kind of okay to say, lean on and talk to friends about it. And just like you said,
you can't show emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Ming said, you would definitely be seen as weak if you're.
It's like harder to show vulnerability
as
a man.
As a man as well.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's harder to talk about like mental illness or like whatever you have some sort of issue with as a man as well, because
it's like you're expected to just deal with it.
Yeah, you're expected to be stern,
So, Myrochi, we talked about education kind of being a big part. Is that the same with you? Did you have that kind of expectations growing up?
Yeah, I still do. But so the thing about me, when I got out of high school, the following fall, it wasn't really discussed with me. Like my last year of high school, I took the ACT on a whim. I needed like a 17 to get in at the time. I took a last minute, got an 18, probably 19, and I was in. Like literally, like they were doing it that day. It's like, yo, we about to take the test right now. Yo, I can sign you up. You want to do it? And I'm like, sure, why not? But
Hey,
And,
man, that's what's up.
yo, and I was already the thing that really kind of bothered me when I was 18, like getting ready to go to the university. My mom really never talked to me. There was a sheet, and she just signed it like, "Yo, you doing this, doing that," and I'm like, "Huh?" She never really discussed with me. It's like, "Hey, sit down. Like, I'm gonna explain to you certain things."
Yeah.
So I guess in her aspect, what she went through, education was important, but I really didn't have that freedom because all I know is school.
Okay.
That's
And
all I really
did you
know.
have like a expectation of like what you have to study or what kind of grades you got to get,
Um,
what kind
a,
of profession you have to be in the future? Is there
that
anything
one,
like that?
no, I had freedom to do so, but
Okay.
if I failed or I was struggling at something, it was like I always get that excuse, and when I do have a lot of time on my hands, I do blame myself. Yo, you shouldn't be failing any courses. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that, and that messed with my mental too, because if I failed, I know I was gonna get like laid into, but it's also that stress and expectation. So I guess you can say expectations on grades to a degree,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
But then again, if I was struggling not knowing stuff, like I said, my mom would say little things here and there. I'm like, I'm struggling, I'm going to them, whatever. And then she would say something like, "Oh, there's no help for you then." And that kind of like damaged me a bit.
Oh yeah, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So,
I totally understand. Your mom has a lot of power over you, and
yeah,
that's the same case with me.
yeah.
Everything I do, even now, or what I want to do, what I'm going to do, I have my mom's voice in my head, or like I I think about what my mom would think,
Hmm.
and if it's gonna make her happy and all that. I know they just want the best for us, but I can totally understand what
I
you're
feel
saying.
like it's the pressure of filling the expectations of
Yeah.
what they have for
Yeah.
you, which is like definitely very hard, especially if you're unsure.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I just want to throw out some stats. Well, I kind of want to talk about it since Ming did the research.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Ming. So he did studies on Asian American. What article did you get this from? I just want to
From which one?
call that out first. I'm looking at your doc, but
Yeah.
is it all in one article?
Yeah, it's all in one article.
Which one
So
is it?
the NLAAS,
Uh, NLAAS.
yeah, the National Latino and Asian American Studies.
Okay, cool. So they found that Asian Americans have a 17.30% overall lifetime rate of any psychiatric disorder and a 9.19% 12-month rate. Yet Asian Americans are 3 times less likely to seek mental health services than whites. And another one is in a study in 2010, most young Asian Americans tend to seek support from personal network, such as close friends, rather than professional help. Most believe the reason for this is because of the negative stigma surrounding mental health issues and also the lack of awareness and resources available. The study also mentioned that there is a language barrier, so most Asian Americans don't seek help. What do you guys think about these stats? Do you think it's shocking? Why do you think this is? You guys relate?
Well,
I do believe that Asian Americans in America, yeah, Asians in America, they tend to not seek, like professional help at all. They, like I said before, they think it's like some sort of weakness or some sort of like imaginary,
Like
sickness.
superstition type of deal.
Yeah. So they tend to, just like ignore it.
Yeah, I see that from when my sister was having trouble and my mom was not really understanding it. She's like, can't you just get over it? Or, just not really taking it seriously as it is. And I have to really step in and say, no, this is a really serious issue. I'm going through it as well. And even though my sister's young, she has the expectation of my mom as well, and the expectation of doing really well in school that is really affecting her mental. And I could see it every day where she's just putting on this unnecessary stress, even though she's a high schooler. She's just yeah, and she's not happy. Even though she's only 16, and I'm just like, let's get her to get some help when she is still young. But I think opening up finally, because my sister was really reluctant on speaking, and she actually got mad at me, and it was my fault for disclosing this information to my mom, because she only told me about it because she knows what it is about. But I kind of I had an argument, and I kind of just shouted it out, and that kind of it was negative in a sense. It added more pressure on her, and I felt really bad. But hopefully it turned into a good thing, and release some of the stress that my sister has, since my mom now knows and understands, and she is trying what she can to help her out. So
well, it is good. Yeah, it is good that your mom kind of understands, because supposedly your parents are like your number one like support, right? Like if your parents can't help you, then like who can really help you, supposedly?
Yeah, that's why you have friends.
Yeah, that's true.
True,
Just
true.
like Myrochi said, like all these gaming and hanging out with friends during the weekend really helps me out.
Meetings over in 7 minutes.
Yeah. So, Myrochi,
What's up?
so what are some of the solutions or ways that you've been tackling this? I know you kind of talked about in the beginning, but do you want to talk about it more in depth for the listeners?
So thing that really helps me out a lot, aside from spending time with you guys, is finding some recreational to do. Like I watch anime, sometimes even going outside, like breathing in some fresh air for a few minutes. Just going outside. You ain't even got to drive nowhere. See, I kind of like I'm gonna say this is kind of the countryside, because there's a lot of nature. You can just hear birds and stuff. Yeah, you have the highway, but just sitting out there basking in the sun or whatever else have you helps out a lot. Occasionally maybe going for a drive, even though I've been around the city, just like getting out of the house.
For sure.
Oh, and a little bit of exercising and changing up the food a little bit. Because I don't know if people experience, after you exercise, you might be feeling good. You be like, whew, I got some stress, or I got some tension out the way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of feel good self-management here. Maybe even cleaning up, doing chores or something. Like I think the environment you kind of situate yourself in, because like I have a messy room, but sometimes when I clean it up, I'm like, dang, I feel good after that.
Yeah, I like that too. I love cleaning.
Yeah.
It's like the accomplishment of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And,
just fine. Go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess like finding little things to do to brighten up your day.
And you also mentioned earlier to think positively, right?
Yeah,
Have that positive mindset instead of saying negative, I can't do this, or it's too hard. Be like, I don't know, I can do this, and it's a challenge, and it's a good thing. I can learn from this. And just to add on to that, stop comparing yourself to other people. If you guys are thinking that you're worthless, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Also, try to stay away from the news as much, because all the news and all the negative energy from the news can affect you too.
Yeah,
I know it's good to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the world. Maybe a few days here and there, or whatever else. But saying like all the news that shows up on the TV, and I'm just like, I don't even have my TV on in my room, because when my dad was alive, he was living here, he would have like 6 or 7 channels recorded. And I know my mom likes to watch the news too. So I don't even have my TV on because it'll automatically go to a recorded thing or something like that. So
yeah. Glad you mentioned news. I want to add stay off of social media if you can. Yeah. Because I know social media at this age, it's people only show their best life, and social media is fake. So stop comparing your life to what's going on in social media. If you can. I know it's a big thing, big part of our life. And it's just stop comparing yourself to other people. You're on your own path. You're gonna find something as long as you keep pushing. And I think to get your day going, even though maybe you'll wake up feeling like shit every day, just have some something to look forward to. Just keep yourself busy. And that's the big reason why I started this podcast with Ming and Brandon, is because, you know, it gives us a little purpose every week, knowing that we have to record and that there are people listening in, and that really helps me a lot. And just having your own goals, small ones, big ones, and just work towards it. I would say that's a good way to help with your mental health. Brandon, Ming, you guys got any suggestions for people?
I would say exercising is a good way to relieve that mental health too. It gives a way for you to set goals as well. And anything like, yeah, what you said, small goals, smaller step, or every small step you take is good for your mental, because every small step you take towards your goals will help you accomplish bigger things in life, and then that will help you.
Yes. Ming, you got anything, suggestions for the listeners?
It is never good to bottle up any feeling that you have. Try to talk to someone about it. Like it could be like strangers on the internet as well. There are apps that can help you, like 7 Cups, where you just talk to a stranger about your problems. It could be about any problems as well, and they will not judge.
Yes, always try to seek help. You're not weak for seeking help. If you can't talk to your parents about it, maybe find a close friend that could talk about it, or try to go to the doctors to get a therapist. You are not weak for doing that. Focus on yourself. If get as much help as you can, even call 911 if you're experiencing really bad days. If you want to, I don't know. Yeah, just try to get help. You're not weak for it. And Myrochi and any of you guys, do you have anything else to add or want to talk about?
I fucking love you guys.
Kimochi!
Kimochi desu ka?
Love you too, bro. We actually met online through a friend. So
shout out
it's
to
incredible.
Ivan, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ivan. It's incredible how close we are right now. We've been playing games for how long now, Myrochi?
I don't know, man.
Like 5-6 years, like
probably a bit
long, even longer, I think. Probably.
Yeah, because I think I met y'all when I was like 21, 22.
Yeah, it's been.
And the majority of y'all was in high school though, going to college.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been long. It's been great.
Long and strong. You already know.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. This week we talked about mental health in different culture. Like Alex said before, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so please help yourself and others who are in need. Special thanks to Myrone for joining us. It probably wasn't easy talking about deaths, but we are glad you came on. We will see you all next time. Goodbye.